I see the confusion in these two things all the time, not just from my more than 3,000 students in my program and any women who reach out for me for some kind of coaching, but I also see it with potential clients and creative small business owners, maybe just like you, who are interested in hiring someone to help them with all the words that you need to market your business. I even recently got a DM from pretty much a dream client. She said, I need some help with the copy for our businesses. I started asking her more questions and I realized she actually needs support with the content in her business, which is not something we do. Copywriting, content writing, clear as mud, right? Well, by the end of this video, you are not only going to know the exact differences between the two, but you're going to know 3 key reasons that you need both of them in tandem to launch your next website, product, or service. Hit that like button as we get started if you've ever been confused between the two, and I should hit the like button too because I totally was, especially as I moved out of college and into the professional world. Just like you wouldn't hire a plumber to fix that leaky roof in your kitchen, you need to hire the right marketing writer for different tasks in your business too. And if you're being the writer, you simply need to know the difference. So let's back up. Where does this confusion between copywriting and content writing even spring from? Well, the words are interchanged all the time, which doesn't help. So while the skill sets overlap, think about that plumber and the construction worker, they both have a basic framework and working knowledge of the inside of your house. But being the content writer for your business and being the copywriter for your business are 2 different jobs. And one is not more important than the other, especially as we move into the new decade we're going into. They are 2 of the most important components of digital marketing today, and you need both of them for that successful launch you want. Well, hey there, if we haven't met, my name is Ashlyn Carter. I'm a copywriter, brand, and launch strategist for creative entrepreneurs just like you. I nerd out and split hairs over things just like this each and every Tuesday, and if that's something that you want more of and you want to be in the know when the trainings drop, then make sure that you go down below, hit the subscribe button, the bell next to it, and let's get going. I've got 3 I's for you here. Reason number 1, the intent for the writing. Like I said, this is kind of splitting hairs, and marketing writing is super nuanced. So an illustration. So picture and step with me inside your favorite local coffee shop or coffee bar. You know, the one that serves up your favorite lattes, but also starts serving wine around 5 o'clock. So if you're in that coffee shop, copywriting is that meeting I want you to picture going on in the corner. Maybe it's a business meeting or a job interview, some sort of persuasive conversation. It could even be like a DTR in a dating relationship. So if you're in that coffee shop, I want you to picture copywriting as that persuasive meeting going on over there in the corner. Can you see it? So that's going on over there. Now look in the other corner in your mind's eye, and I want you to picture what content writing is going to be. This is the 2 moms that just walked in with their strollers and their babies. Oh my gosh, did you hear about this? I have got to send you a link on Amazon to my favorite product that blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you about this serum I've been using. And by the way, have I told you what I've been reading lately? There are 2 very different types of conversations. So like that persuasive conversation going on in the corner, copywriting is focused on direct, short-term goals with big results. If it's entertaining, that's great. We all like an entertaining ad. But the focus of that conversation is on action. I love this quote from Ogilvy. When I write an advertisement, I don't want you to tell me that you find it creative. I want you to find it so interesting that you buy that product. Hopefully for the people sitting at that table, there's already some sort of a level of trust. Now in the other corner, those 2 moms in conversation represent content writing, where the focus is engaging, entertaining, and informing the audience. This is all so the audience stays longer on the website, soaks up, engages with the brand. It builds up trust, but it also has the slow burn effect in mind. So content writing is going to trace its roots and find its history in journalism, while copywriting, on the other hand, is going to find its lineage and roots back in direct response ad copywriting. Is that starting to make sense to you? I hope so. Comment below and let me know if it is. Let me show you the types of things that each form of writing would produce. A copywriter is writing ads, direct response or sales-focused email campaign, website page copy, landing pages that need a conversion, headlines, call to action buttons and copy, product descriptions, sales letters, which are pretty much sales pages, and sales pitches. A keynote, even if the selling is for an idea, it's still selling. Conversely, content writing produces things like blogs and articles, magazine features, guest posts, freebies or opt-in copy, most email newsletters, and most social media captions, and scripts like for podcasts and even for videos like this one you're watching. With that breakdown, I bet you can see how and why you need both of them to make a launch be truly successful. My students inside my Primed to Launch program know that I spend a whole lesson talking talking about the differences between these two things and why you need them both. And if you've got a launch coming up, first of all, yay, congratulations. And I also want you to look down below and grab my checklist. It's all about launch copy and content that you are going to need for your next campaign. Before I move on to numbers 2 and 3, I hope that you can understand if you're trying to find a writer for a project you have in your business, these two things are different and will require different writers. If you're hiring someone who tells you they can do all of this, I kind of doubt their process. It's taken me 4 years to bring in more than 7 figures as a copywriting business, and let me tell you, we do not touch content writing. It would slow me down big time if I had to figure out an onboarding and project and client process for content marketing pieces. In fact, if you are a writer and you focus on content writing, would you comment below and let me know who you are? I would love to add you to my list. And if you are a writer, my hope here is that you double down. I'm not exaggerating. I honestly cannot tell you how many times I've either looked at someone's services page, maybe they've DM'd me or they're a student and they're a writer, and I look at their services page and they literally offer everything that I just spelled out. Home slice, trim your list. I think the word copywriter has seen a resurgence lately, but honestly, I see a pretty big gaping hole in truly skilled content writers who understand the greater marketing strategy and can leverage their talent. And if you're watching this, you want to be a writer and you don't know which one you want to be yet, that's okay. Play with them both. I did, and it definitely helped me understand what I like more. I promise though, if you're a writer, you will be able to command a higher price point if you're able to truly master one of those areas. I did a video all about where I talk about starting up a writing business and niching and what that entails. I'll link it down below. It's also up here if you want to click over after this video. And if your own business is your client, here's your assignment. Get dangerous at both, which brings me to number 2, the identity of the writer. Whether you're writing the content for your upcoming launch or the copy for your upcoming launch, which now you've seen how you definitely desperately need both, you're going to need a different hat for each of those jobs. Not sure why I did that. Hat number 1. As a copywriter, your expertise is in fundamental copy and psychological principles. You're likely a born researcher and you nerd about some data just a little bit. You likely have a high EQ or emotional intelligence quotient and are constantly looking for ways that you can ramp up persuasion with things like urgency and scarcity. You bring both your market research and your insight and knowledge of the human experience and human nature to the table when you're writing. The client's voice, or again, if you're doing the writing for your business, your voice is important, but good copywriting will never die on the hill of, I just needed this to sound like me. It's not as important. Unlike hat number 2, which is you as the content writer. Here, your biggest concern is, does it inform, does it educate, does it entertain? You as the content writer are in your element when it comes to voice. You're a natural teacher, you're a natural born helper. With this style of writing, a little bit more stream of consciousness is okay. You're a relationship builder here, and you're really trying to ramp up and grow that loyalty factor between the brand and the reader. With this hat on, you are the go-to when your brand needs to grow website traffic, it needs to gain trust with its audience. And with the copywriter hat on, you're the go-to when the business needs to grow sales and increase conversion rates. Can you see how both styles of writing are different? I think that's why I chose the hat analogy, because I want you to see how, yes, they're both hats, but they look different. Now, there is crossover between the two. Not to beat my little metaphors into the ground, but remember that coffee bar we were talking about earlier? So both conversations are happening inside that coffee shop. And like I said, both a plumber and a construction worker have a pretty great working knowledge of the framework of your house. There's crossover for sure. So here are 6 things that you will find as similarities between both being the content writer for your brand and the copywriter. Both writing is straight to the point and limits unnecessary words. Number 2, both have logical backed up arguments. Number 3, both should be doing a great job of building trust with the reader. Number 4, both types need a pretty great working knowledge of SEO. I've heard both ways where more SEO is needed for one than the other, but I honestly think after doing this for years and having hundreds of clients and thousands of students, you need to know it whether you're doing the content writing or you're doing the copywriting. I do think that the content writer needs a little bit more understanding of publishing platforms. Crossover at number 5, both are under the umbrella of branding, but just support in different ways. And number 6, they should both have a great knack for storytelling. The best writers for either side of the content versus copywriting ring are talented storytellers. In fact, I've even noticed that they will both communicate with words so well with story that you don't even realize that you're eating up a story along the way. And reason number 3, the interaction or the influence on the reader. When you have your copywriter hat on for your upcoming launch, you get a gold star when you get an action to take place, usually one action. The ultimate interaction that I'm looking for as a copywriter copywriter, or that you are as you write copy for your next launch, is to sell that idea to the reader so much that they can't help but take action. The interaction for copywriting is more forceful. When you're the content writer for your business, you get a gold star when you can increase likes, shares, responses, engagement. Those are the measure of how good your writing is. The ultimate action that you're looking to have in your pre-launch content for that big launch that you have coming around the bend is increasing that brand loyalty. You engage, you inform, you build rapport, you build trust with your customers. The writing processes for both these two types of writing are different. I'm so passionate about pre-launch content marketing. It's why I have an entire program devoted just to helping you figure out your pre-launch strategy. Content writing and the content marketing portion of your next launch has a huge, big ol' influence on your reader. I've created a blog writing video as well as an Instagram caption writing video that may help you out. I'll link both those below if you need more support and want to understand too how this process of writing content looks different from the process of writing conversion copy. You need both if you're looking to have a next launch that goes off without a hitch. As pros behind Copyblogger have famously said, copywriting without content is a good waste of copy, and content without copywriting is a waste of good content. Smart creative entrepreneurs like you know how to blend both of these together into a beautiful campaign that, yeah, sure, makes you money, but it also really helps you engage and serve and love on your audience in the process. If you found today's video helpful, then hit that like button below. That sure does help me out and enable me to do more of these videos. And don't forget to grab your ultimate launch copy and content checklist below. And now that you understand how you need both, be sure to watch the next video I have for you where I give you my exact email newsletter template so you can use that whether the email is going to be more persuasive, copywriting, or more educational content marketing. I'll see you there.